Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I need to get an intro at some point, but if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content, all that good stuff. All these videos that get posted to this subreddit right here. First one I see is Jovic breaking the slate. Funny. I'll have the subreddit link down below. You can ask me questions about the slate leading up to lock. You can ask me questions about showdown if you want. Usually I'll get to them night slate. All that good stuff. So I'll have this link down below if you need it. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right here. So after having a good night yesterday, bad night tonight, kind of. This was my single entry. I didn't play much volume on Draftkings today. I have money on FanDuel, so I just said screw it. I'll just play FanDuel. So I didn't play much, but cashed on Draftkings. My core today was Chet Holmgren. Excuse me, guys. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Trey Murphy, and I told everyone to get the one of Brandon Ingram, CD McCollum. Not so great. 2 out of 4 there. And then I played some other lineups on Draftkings. Pretty much, I had 0 Jovic, besides that one lineup you guys just saw. I had 0 Jonas Valanciunas, besides that one lineup you just saw. That was the only lineup that cashed for me. I played 2 lineups on Draftkings, and I played like 8 on FanDuel. I'll show you my FanDuel lineups. So I was way under the field on Jonas Valanciunas, way under the field on Jovic. This is my only Jovic line on FanDuel. So wasn't great. Let me see if I can find my entries. Here we go. I only had 1 cash. This is a $50 entry, so I lost about half my buy-ins tonight. This is the only lineup that cashed. I basically, I pretty much played a ton of SGA. I played a ton of Chet, a ton of Bam. I played Caleb Martin in every single lineup. I played Jalen Williams in every single lineup. I played CD McCollum in every single lineup. Trey Murphy in every single lineup, so that was fun. And then kind of mix and match from there. As you can see, like the guys I just mentioned, I have in every single lineup. But I didn't have Jovic. And I didn't have Jonas Valanciunas, who broke the slate. So yeah, did not do well tonight, unfortunately. So hopefully you guys had a good night tonight. And this slate was wild. Prop betting, I did horrible in prop betting. Just tough stuff. Past 4 days of prop betting have been horrible. I don't know what's going on. Literally everyone I know that's been doing prop betting for the last 4 days, it's just been god awful. But after having a good night yesterday in DFS, looking to bounce back tomorrow after having a bad night tonight. So let's get into the slate. If you're looking for more DFS content, price fix content, I'll have my Discord link down below. But as we always do, let's just get straight into the slate. We'll always go over the rotations for all 3 teams, or all 6 teams, my apologies, and then we'll look at the price points, break it down from there. So let's take a look at what the Cavs did for game 2, I believe it was. Yeah, game 2. Cool. I mean, Orlando has to make some adjustments, right? We'll talk about that in a minute, I guess. Without further ado, you saw Jared Allen play 40 minutes. You saw Donovan Mitchell play 36. Evan Mobley didn't play much in the 4th. I would expect that to change. Darius Garland played 31. Max Strus played big minutes. Karis LeVert played 25 minutes. Isaac Okoro was the only other guy basically that got run off of the bench. So without further ado, I do like Donovan Mitchell at 8.6K. Don't expect him to get much ownership. He was absolutely torching Orlando last game until he had a bad second half. But if he's going to be low owned at 8.6K, I think he's a decent contrarian option. Just their go-to guy. The usage is going to be through the roof. I'm expecting him to chuck when he's out there. Don't expect much ownership. He looks good to me. It looks like his injuries are all fine. I believe he's been injured with that knee. Looks like he's been doing well. Looks a lot better. So with him healing up, I do think he's a decent contrarian play on this slate. Like if we take a look at the price points around him, you do have some good options. Like you have Brunson for a little bit more that I'd rather play. You have Jamal Murray, who I absolutely love once again here. Paolo looks decent. I would probably rather play Donovan Mitchell over Paolo. Tyrese Maxey, I like in GPPs. And then, yeah, Donovan Mitchell by himself there, I think looks pretty good as a contrarian play. I don't think anyone's going to play him. I like both the bigs and contrarian plays as well. I don't think they're going to get much ownership. You know, both good point per minute guys that should play high 30s minutes. I think Mobley playing 32 minutes definitely was a bit of an outlier. I think normally you're going to get high 30s minutes from him. I think I prefer Mobley, point per dollar to Jared Allen, but if you ask me straight up, it's very, very close. Not the best matchup here going up against Orlando, but like I said, should see big minutes. I don't see them getting much ownership. 7K, 7.4K respectively does seem like fair price points for their pricing. So I don't mind them. I'm not going to go out of my way to play them, but if you want to get to one, I think it's fine. In GPPs, I don't expect them to get much ownership. Like if you take a look at power forward and center on the slate, you have Jokic, you have Embiid, you have 80. It's loaded. So I don't expect them to get too much ownership here. Do not play both together. I would not play both together. They just cannibalize each other's usage a little bit. I think it's definitely negative EV to play both these guys together. You can get away with it since it's a 3-game slate, but I wouldn't go out of my way to do it. Darius Garland at 6.6K, just there for me. He's probably my least favorite option on the Cavaliers. Should play low 30s minutes, stat sheet stuffer. It's okay, I guess. I think there's guys in similar price points I'd personally rather play. More of a contrarian GPP option for me. Max Strus had a good game last game. Played 37 minutes. I mean, the good thing with him is he's going to be out there a decent amount. It's just he's going to be like their fifth option, fifth option most of the time when he's on the court, right? So I don't love the price point at 5.4K. Also bad matchup as well. So I think he's priced right. Karis LeVert should see around 20 minutes. Priced right as well, but playable at 5.2K. Now the price point's coming down. More of a large field GPP play to me. I don't know if I get to the value. I mean, Okoro should see high teens minutes. If you need a punt, I guess kind of similar to like a Taurean Prince. Like if you need like a super cheap dart that should be in the rotation, I guess it's fine. But yeah, I will not be doing that. All right, let's take a look at Orlando. So they got to make some adjustments. I think they have to. Jonathan Isaac was awful last game. I think they need to trim down the rotation here. Why are we playing Markelle Fultz? Why are we not playing Cole Anthony more? They need to make some changes here. I think there's a good chance, and I'm going to keep saying it, that Cole Anthony could play a bit more. I think it's going to happen at one point in this series. I don't know when, but they need to make some adjustments. Last game you did see Franz play 40 minutes, Paolo 40 minutes. Suggs got injured, still played 30. Gary Harris played 34 minutes. He got a bump with Suggs out as far as usage-wise goes. And then, like I said, Jonathan Isaac, 19 minutes. So, assuming they do continue to start Jonathan Isaac at 4.8K, I do still think he's a really good value. He just got benched last game. He was playing awful. The worst game I think I've ever seen from someone. 1-7 from 3, 1-7 from the field, just chuck threes. They left him open. It was tough to watch, man. But assuming he does start, I think he's a really solid value once again at 4.8K. So, like Isaac there. Franz, Paolo, I think are still too cheap. I think Franz is still too cheap at 6.7K. People aren't realizing that he gets a massive bump in the playoffs compared to his regular season minutes. He went from 30 minutes a game to close to 40 minutes a game. He has not shot the ball well. Once he has a good shooting game, he's probably going to break the doors off the slate. He has nice eligibility with shooting for it as well. So I do like Franz there. Might be more optimal than Paolo. Paolo has a really tough spot as well. Still firmly in play. I think Franz does look better point per dollar to me. I think Franz is more of an optimal play compared to Paolo, but Paolo's still in play in GPPs to me. And the guy I like once again here, who I've been very, very high on, is Jalen Suggs. He got hurt last game, lost some minutes, but he has been extremely, extremely active when he's on the court. He is being aggressive. We know he's a good defender. They need him out there. He can rack up steals. I'm expecting big, big minutes here. 5.3K, I still think is too cheap for him. I think he really stands out to me. I like him quite a bit. If you think they like bench Isaac again and go as like more of like a Mo Wagner, I guess that's fine. He'll be in the rotation regardless, but if you think they go with him, he's playable. He could have a really good game at no ownership. What else? Gary Harris should see around 30 minutes. Perfectly fine value of 4K. Wish he was still 3.6K, but 4K playing over 30 minutes in a playoff slate. Definitely firmly in play for value. And I'll keep mentioning Cole Anthony. I think there's a chance at some point in this series that he will get a minutes bump. Could it be tomorrow? Sure. Could it be the next game? Sure. We'll see. More of a large field, 150 max start, kind of similar to what I talked about with like Duncan Robinson. I'd definitely throw in like a sprinkle, like a couple percent of lineups with like Cole Anthony, sure, why not? I wouldn't do it in single entry. Would not do it in single entry. I think that's it for Orlando. Let's move on to the Knicks game. Mitchell Robinson is questionable. I didn't really look into it, so I'm not sure if he'll be playing tomorrow. It's the playoffs. I mean, so we'll see. Who are we going over first? Knicks. We know what they're going to do, right? They're going to play Brunson 40 minutes. They're going to go with the hot hand with the bigs. Dante went back to his 40 minutes like I thought he would. I didn't think that they were going to just run McBride into the ground because McBride was playing extremely well. OG played big minutes. Expected Josh Hart. I told you guys, I think there's a chance he could play 48 minutes. He did play 48 minutes, and then Mitchell Robinson played 17 minutes, Miles McBride 20, Bojan Bogdanovic 11. All right, yeah, I think Brunson looks like one of the better spin-ups on the slate at 9.4K. He has been shooting the ball awfully. Josh Hart's been their best player. It hasn't even been close, but Brunson, once he has a good shooting game, he's going to blow the doors off the slate as well. I don't think he'll be popular tomorrow. He might get some ownership, actually. He's been pretty popular every slate, like 30%, but should play big minutes. Not playing at home, though, which is fine. He just needs to have a good shooting game to absolutely nuke the slate. Stat sheet stuffer. His peripherals are still there. His potential assists are still there. He's been rebounding the ball well. So, yeah, I like Brunson a ton at 9.4K. Definitely prefer him to like a Donovan Mitchell-esque. And then Josh Hart's been phenomenal. I mean, he's going to play the entire game. It's a good rebounding matchup for him. He just eats into rebounds. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but whenever Joel Embiid's out there, that's going to absolutely help him for rebounding. Absolutely incredible what he's been doing. He's been their best player. He's being aggressive on offense. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Probably going to get you a double-double. Going to play the entire game. I don't think there's anything you can knock off Josh Hart saying he's a bad play tomorrow, possibly besides him being possible giga chalk. But very, very safe with the ceiling. Looks good to me. Dante DiVincenzo at 6.4K. More of like a filler play for me, but still decent at 6.4K. Clearly has a ceiling. Would prefer to get up to like a Josh Hart, but playable. And then with the bigs. So I think they're going to go with the hot hand here. I really do. Game 1, Hartenstein played 18 minutes. Mitch Rob played 30 minutes. Game 2, Hartenstein played 30 minutes. Mitch Rob played 18 minutes. So probably going to be a hot hand approach. We'll see. If I had to guess, I would just lean that they play Hartenstein more. Like, if you think Hartenstein gets 30 minutes again at 5.3K, which I lean he probably does, did a good job last game. He stands out as one of the best value plays of the slate at 5.3K. Really like him. Probably going to be really popular. Could you make the argument to fade and go to a lower owned Mitchell Robinson and hope they do go with that like hot hand type of situation? It's not a guarantee that they play Hartenstein 30 minutes. I wouldn't be shocked if Mitchell Robinson plays 30 minutes. So like you have to make some tough calls there. But if he does get those minutes, he does stand out to me a ton at 5.3K. OG Anunoby, going to play big minutes. Very safe. They need his defense. Can rack up blocks and steals. Going to play big minutes. I know he's been really bad to start this series as far as fantasy goes. I still think he's a good value of 5.1K. Definitely a very solid value. McBride is overpriced for my liking. Bojan's overpriced. And then if for some reason Mitch Rob sits, I think they like Hartenstein would be probably one of the best mid-range value plays on the slate. They'd just be forced to run him into the ground for all the minutes he could possibly handle. So let's move on to the Sixers. All right, for the Sixers, you saw Tyrese Maxey play 44, Tobias Harris play 41, Batum played 32 off the bench, Buddy Hield 14, Kyle Lowry 33, Joel Embiid 39, Kelly Oubre 25. So I like Joel Embiid a ton. Unowned option, pretty much every single slate. Going to play big minutes. Probably going to get you a double-double. Also another guy that can rack up defensive stats. Phenomenal scorer. I don't think there's anything to knock on his game. I'd personally rather just play Jokic, but I think Embiid looks great as an unowned, not unowned, but low-owned option as a spend-up. I really like Tyrese Maxey in, excuse me, guys, in GPPs. 7.9K. I think he's just too cheap, right? The role players for the Sixers have been doing absolutely nothing. They need him to step up. Going to play big minutes, like 44. I expect similar minutes tomorrow going up against the Knicks. Maybe even more, could push for like 45. He's been stuffing the stat sheet. He is too cheap. He plays better with Joel Embiid on the court as well. And with everyone else just being absolute bums on this team besides Kyle Lowry, I think they're going to really need him to step up tomorrow. So I am a big fan of Tyrese Maxey tomorrow. I think he'll go overlooked. Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, if I were to play one, it would be Tobias Harris. I do think Tobias Harris is a bit underpriced here at 5.8K. Now, do I think there's a chance they could bench him tomorrow? I think it's always in the range of outcomes. They've done it previously, played 41 minutes in the last game up against the Knicks. But I think the Sixers, a lot of times, you guys know I'm a Sixers fan, they're going to go with the hot hand a bit with like Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre. They could do it with like Buddy Hield as well and Batum. So I wouldn't say like he's a lock for 35 plus minutes tomorrow, but should play at least 30. He does seem a bit too cheap at 5.8K. Kyle Lowry, I think, is a decent value. He's been pretty much a safety net for this team. I would expect over 30 minutes once again. Another stat sheet stuffer. He's been playing very well in the playoffs for the Sixers so far. So I think he's a very good value at 4.7. Kelly Oubre, more of that boomer bust play. I think I prefer Tobias Harris. Batum, we know the drill, right? Should play anywhere from low to mid 20s minutes. Could play 30 again. I wouldn't be shocked. Playable, more of a large field GPP value to me. Could have Melton back tomorrow, but I don't see him playing much if he does play. I can't pay that price point for Buddy Hield. So let's move on to probably the best game to target, in my opinion, on this slate. So let's do it. All right, we're going over Denver first. Michael Porter Jr., 40 minutes. Jamal, 40 minutes. Jokic, 40 minutes. Aaron Gordon, 40 minutes. KCP, 35 minutes. That's it. So let's do it. I think Jokic looks phenomenal at 11.5K. Clearly the best spend up on the slate. I really like Jokic at 11.5K. Going to play big minutes. Probably going to get you close to a triple-double. I really like Jokic. Absolutely love Jamal Murray. If nobody is going to play him tomorrow because he had a stinker last game, I'm going to go right back to him. I still think he's too cheap. He gets a huge bump in the playoffs. Just had a terrible shooting night. 37% from the field. 5 from 3. I love Jamal Murray once again tomorrow. I will be going right back most likely. MPJ, I really like at 6.3K. He's still too cheap, playing big minutes. Really good matchup for him. Basically a system play. Really like MPJ. Aaron Gordon, solid. KCP is a very safe value. Going to play big minutes. I like him for value. Wish he was a bit cheaper, but like him for value. I don't know. They're running such a tight rotation. I don't think I can get to anyone else. If you want to throw darts on like Peyton Watson, Christian Braun, and large field GPPs, that's fine. Then we get to the Lakers. So AD's been giga chalk every slate. I don't expect that to change. I mean, point per dollar, he does look like a decent spend up. He is too cheap at 9.8K. So yeah, 80's a good spend up. LeBron, just as good. Like what I've been doing or suggesting to do, like whichever one's low owned, just go to the lower owned option. Like if 80's giga chalk tomorrow, just play LeBron. If LeBron's giga chalk tomorrow, just play AD. I think they both look pretty similar to me. And one's been chalk, one hasn't. AD was chalk this game. LeBron dominated him, etc. So they look pretty similar to me. I think the price point on Reeves is a bit too cheap at 5.7K as well. Stat sheet stuffer should play big minutes. They did go back to their old rotation. I don't know if you guys saw that Ham quote. The most confusing quote ever, but they subbed LeBron out in the first quarter. They didn't do that the first, has it been 2 games? Whatever. The first 1 or 2 games, they were playing LeBron the whole first, sorry. But yeah, Reeves looks too cheap for me. I don't mind that. D'Lo at 6'4", I think is fine. Has a ceiling. Clearly going to play big minutes. Just there for me. I think it's solid. And I like Rui for value. Should play big minutes. Just had a really bad game last game. 4.8K seems fair. Okay point per minute guy. Not going to do too much in this offense playing alongside these guys, but 4.8K should play huge minutes. I think it's decent. Prince is playable. I don't know if I get too much else here though. So that's going to wrap it up for the slate. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.